Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
In the spot where 4 nights ago a Polish man was fatally beaten up, the people of Harlow in Essex came together this evening. They wanted to show Arkadiusz Jóźwik the respect in death his killers clearly did not in life. His friends say he was attacked by a gang of teenagers simply for being Polish.
A minute's silence at a vigil on a shopping street in Essex on the exact spot where a Polish man was beaten to death, and where a community has come together to ask why.
At the moment, the eyes of the country are on Harlow. We know that a lot of people are intimidated and worried.
Arkadiusz Jóźwik was killed after a violent attack last Saturday night. 6 teenagers have been arrested and bailed. This evening, all ages, all backgrounds gathered to demonstrate how most people live here quite happily, side by side. Was this a hate crime? Well, that's for the police and legal system to decide. But that question is being asked in the same breath as talk of Brexit and immigration. And as you can see, that's deeply troubling in a town with one of the highest concentrations of Eastern Europeans in the country. Paying his respects earlier today, the Polish ambassador. This murder of his countryman has shocked his nation.
It's a great tragedy, not only for Polish community, but also for British community.
Eric Hind knew Arkadiusz. He's convinced his friend was targeted because he was Polish.
We are not welcome here anymore. We've been given lots of kind of, sarcastic comments.
Like what?
Like, what time's your next bus? As I mentioned before, have you got a valid passport? This is just one of the outcomes. It shouldn't happen. Arek shouldn't die the way he died.
The Polish ambassador leaving a private meeting with the brother of Arkadiusz Jóźwik. The family today released a statement saying they were devastated by their loss. As darkness fell, the tributes continued to be paid to a Polish man whose death is raising deep concerns about life for European immigrants in post-Brexit Britain. Angus Walker, News at 10, Harlow, Essex.
Now, the town of Harlow in Essex is in something of a state of shock after an attack on 2 Polish residents on Saturday night that killed one of them. Arkadiusz Jóźwik died from his injuries on Monday. 5 15-year-old boys and 1 16-year-old boy, all from Harlow, were arrested on suspicion of murder. All but one of them have been bailed. Now, there are obvious worries in the Polish community in Harlow at what looks like a hate crime. The Polish ambassador was in the town today along with the local MP to offer support, and our reporter John Sweeney went to hear the local concerns.
The killing of Arek Jóźwik, a 40-year-old Pole in Essex, was a particular tragedy and cause for a wider, more general unease about the politics of identity in Britain today. Saturday night, just before midnight, 15 or 20 youths are here and they're trouble. Arek, the Polishman, goes to that pizza restaurant behind me. His phone rings, he answers it in Polish, and that, people say, is the trigger for what happens next. The story ends with Arek down on the ground where those flowers are there now, a dying man. For Poles in Britain, there is mounting anxiety about what happened here. Today, a very public visit from Warsaw's man in London.
This is the beginning of my mission in the United Kingdom, and I'm really shocked and deeply concerned on this tragedy.
Eric Hind knew the dead man.
To be honest, since the Brexit, I think, all the British people, all the kind of Brits here, they think they've got green light here to do what they want. They feel very kind of, secure to be racist, to swear, to send all kind of rude comments at us, to be sarcastic, to send sarcastic comments every day at work. I've been there, and it's not nice.
All the British people we spoke to told us They were horrified by the killing and had no problem with the Polish community. Conrad works in the cafe directly opposite the pizza takeaway. He spoke to us first in English and then in Polish.
Jakieś 3 tygodnie temu, kiedy szedłem na zakupy tutaj, grupka osób siedziała na ławce, a myślę, że byli pod wpływem alkoholu i rzucili do mnie pustą butelką. Ale ja nie zareagowałem, tylko poszedłem dalej. Bo nie wiem, co by się potem stało, czy nie było coś więcej.
This is not an isolated experience. What happened here isn't only a story of the ugly mood in our country post-Brexit. It's also a story of antisocial behaviour, of people at night being afraid to walk down a British high street.
They terrorise all the shopkeepers. They terrorise people just walking through. It's awful. It's awful. They go into shops, they knock things off shelves, and then walk back out. The shopkeepers are too scared to say anything.
And we have no problem against any foreign people. There is a problem with the police controlling a group of 25 youths wheeling push bikes up and down here. The police have not got the power to come and do it until it's too late, like today. Now they want to come and deal with all the situations. Well, it's too late, someone's died. Someone's lost their family now, all because the police can't control the situation. Why is there a group of youths hanging around here anyway? The police should disperse them.
It was not supposed to be like this. 12 years ago today, then Prime Minister Tony Blair visited Harlow. Why? To laud the local success in tackling antisocial behaviour.
I believe that Harlow is a kind and tolerant place to live. I'm very proud of being MP here. The vast majority of people are tolerant. We actually have lower levels of antisocial behaviour than other parts of Essex and the country, and relatively. However, of course, there are problems in certain areas. We need to find out what has happened. Today is a day for the family and the Polish community and the people of Harlow, but we need to find out what has happened, why it's happened, and the lessons that can be learned from it.
In Harlow tonight, people united for a vigil. But for the town's Polish community, the killing of one of their own makes emotions raw.
I don't know if I can mention names, but Nigel Farage, thank you for that, because you are part of this death, and you've got blood on your hands. Thanks to you, thanks for all your decision. Wherever you are, it's your call.
Nigel Farage has always denied this allegation. As the search for clues and answers continues, the fear is that two poisons have come together to a lethal result.
John Sweeney in Harlow.